All the world's a stage.
Mine, I
Hey, is this camera working? Can you see me?
Are we filming like right now?
I would not change it. Is this the scene that we're?
I can't
Hello?
find like how to turn the video thing on. Hello?
Shoot. Hello? Where's that sound coming from?
Is that the camera there?
Hello?
Oh my god, someone hacked into my Zoom account.
Oh, is this my... Am I
Can you guys
supposed to be...
see me yet?
Am I supposed to be
Hold on.
doing something?
Yay!
All of you out! Leave! Thank you. All the world's a stage. Never mind.
Each morning I get out my dial, can barely stand on my feet. Take a look in the mirror and cry. Lord, what you did to me here. I have spent all my years in believing you, but I just can't get no relief. Lord, somebody, ooh, somebody, can anybody find me somebody to love? I work hard every day of my life. I work till I ache my bones. At the end of the day, I take home my half pay.
Yes, I remember. Adam, it was upon this fashion bequeathed me by will, but pour 1,000 crowns, and, as thou sayest, charged my brother on his blessing to breed me well, and there begins my sadness. My brother Jacques, he keeps at school, and report speaks goldenly of his profit. For my part, he keeps me rustically at home, or to speak more properly, he stays me here at home unkept, for call you let keeping, for the gentleman of my birth. That differs not from the stalling of an ox. His horses are bred better, for besides that they are fair with their feeding, they are taught their manage, and to that turn riders dearly hired. But I, his brother, gain nothing under him but growth, for the which his animals on his dunghills are as much bound to him as I. Besides this nothingness he so plentifully gives me, he lets me feed with his hinds, borrows me the place of a brother, and as much as in him lies, minds my gentility with my education. And this is it, Adam, that grieves me, and the spirit of my father, which I think is within me. It's the mutiny against this servitude. I will no longer endure it, yet I know no wise remedy how to avoid it.
Yonder comes thy master, your brother.
Go apart, Adam, and thou shalt hear how he will shake me up.
Now, sir, what make you here?
Nothing. I am not taught to make anything.
What mar you then, sir?
Mary, sir, I'm helping you to mar that which God made, a poor, unworthy brother of yours, with idleness.
Marry, sir. Be better employed, and be not a while.
Shall I keep your hogs and eat husks with them? What prodigal portion have I spent that I should come to such a penury?
Know you where you are, sir?
Oh, sir, very well, here in your orchard.
And know you before whom, sir?
Aye, better than him I am before he knows me. I know you are my eldest brother, and in the gentle condition of blood you should so know me. The courtesy of nations allows you my better, and that you are the firstborn. But that same tradition takes not away my blood, where there are 20 brothers betwixt us. I have as much of my father in me as you.
What, boy?
Come, elder brother, you are too young in this.
Let me go, I say. Wilt thou lay hands on me? Villain!
I am no villain. I am the youngest son of Sir Roland de Boys. He was my father, and he is thrice a villain that said such a father begot villains. Wert thou not my brother, I would not take this hand from thy throat till the other had pulled out thy tongue for saying so. Thou hast railed on thyself.
Sweet masters, be patient. For your father's remembrance, be at accord.
Let me go, I say.
I will not till I please. You shall hear me. My father charged you in his will to give me good education. You have trained me like a peasant, obscuring and hiding from me all gentlemanlike qualities. Therefore, allow me such exercises as may become a gentleman. Give me the poor lottery left by my father, my testament. With it, I will go buy my fortunes.
And what wilt thou do, beg, when that is spent? Well, sir, get you in. I will no longer be troubled with you.
I will no further offend you than becomes me for my good.
Get you with him, old dog.
Is old dog my reward? Most true, I have lost my teeth in your service. God be with my old master. He would not have spoke such a word.
Is it even so? Begin you rail upon me? Well, I will physic your rankness and spend no 1,000 crowns neither.
Good morning, your worship.
Good Monsieur Charles. What's the new news at the new court?
Oh, no news but the old news. That is, the old duke is banished by his younger brother, the new duke.
And can you tell if Rosalind, the duke's daughter, be banished with her father?
Oh, no, for the duke's daughter, her cousin so loves her, being from the cradles ever bred together, that she would rather fall in her exile or die to stay behind her.
Where will the old duke live?
They say he's already in the forest of Arden.
What, you wrestle tomorrow before the new duke?
Marry I do, sir, and I came to acquaint you with the matter. I'm given, sir, secretly, to understand that your younger brother, Orlando, hath the disposition to come in disguised against me to try a fall. Tomorrow, sir, rests for my credit, and he that escapes me without some broken limb shall quit him well. Your brother is but young and tender, and for your love I'd be loath to foil him, as I must for my own honor if he come in. Therefore, out of my love to you, I came to acquaint you with all, that you may stay him from his intendment.
Charles, I thank thee for thy love to me, which thou shalt find I will most kindly requite. I had myself notice of my brother's purpose herein, and have labored by underhand means to try and dissuade him from it, but he is resolute. I'll tell thee, Charles, it is the stubbornest young fellow of France, an envious emulator of every man's good parts, and a secret and villainous contriver against me, his natural brother. Therefore use thy discretion. I had a sleeve thou didst break his neck as his finger, and thou wert best look to it, for if thou dost him any slight disgrace, or if he do not mightily grace himself on thee, he will practice against thee, with poison, entrap thee in some treacherous device, never leave thee till he hath taken thy life by some indirect means or another.
Well, I am heartily glad I can answer to you. If you come tomorrow, I'll give him his payment.
Farewell, good Charles. Now, I will stir this gamester. I hope I shall see an end of him, for my soul, yet I know not why, hates nothing more than he. Yet, he's gentle, never schooled and yet learned, full of noble device, of all sorts enchantingly beloved, so much in the heart of the world, and my own people who best know him, that I am altogether misprized. It shall not be so long. This wrestler shall clear all. Nothing remains but that I kindle the boy thither, which now I'll go about.
You make me live. Whatever this world
I pray thee, Rosalind, sweet my cuz be merry.
Dear Celia, I show more mirth than I am mistress of. And would you yet I were merrier? Unless you could teach me to forget a banished father, you must not learn me to remember any extraordinary pleasure.
Herein I see thou lovest me not, with the full weight that I love thee. If my uncle, thy banished father, had banished my uncle, the duke my father, so thou hadst been still with me, I could have taught my love to take thy father for mine. So wouldst thou, if the truth of thy love to me were so righteously tempered as mine is to thee.
Well, I will forget the condition of my estate to rejoice in yours.
You know my father hath no child but I, nor none is like to have. And truly when he dies, thou shalt be his heir. For what he hath taken away from thy father perforce, I will render thee again in affection. By mine honor I will. And when I break that oath, let me turn monster. Therefore, my dear Rose, my sweet Rose, be merry!
From henceforth I will, cuz, and devise sports. Let me see. What think you of falling in love?
Marry, I prithee do, to make sport with all, but love no man in good earnest, nor no further in sports. Neither then with the safety of a pure blush thou mayst in honor come off again.
What shall be our sport then?
Let us sit and mock the good housewife Fortune from her wheel, that her gifts may henceforth be bestowed equally.
Nay, I would we could do so, for her benefits are mightily misplaced, and the bountiful blind woman doth most mistaken her gifts to women.
'Tis true, for though she makes fair, she scarce makes honest. And for though she makes honest, she makes very ill-favoredly.
Nay, now thou goest from Fortune's office to Nature's. Fortune reigns in the gifts of the world, not the lineaments of nature.
No, when nature hath made a fair creature, may she not by fortune fall into the fire? So nature hath given us wit to flout at fortune, hath not fortune sent in this fool to cut off the arguments. How now, wit, whither wander you?
Mistress, you must come away to your father.
Were you made the messenger?
No, by mine honor, but I was bid to come for you.
Where learned you that oath, fool?
Of a certain knight who swore by his honor that the pancakes were good, and who swore by his honor that the mustard was not. Now, I'll stand to it. The pancakes were not, and the mustard was good, and yet was not the knight forsworn?
Enough! Speak no more of him. You'll be whipped for taxation one of these days. Here comes Madame LeBeau.
With her mouth full of news.
Fair princess, you have lost much good sport.
Sports? What color?
What color, madam? How shall I answer you?
As wit and fortune will.
Or as the destinies decree?
Well said. That was laid on with a trowel.
You amazed me, ladies. I would have told you of good wrestling, which you have both lost the sight of. I will tell you the beginning, and if it please your ladyships, you shall hear the end. For the best is yet to do, and here where you are, they are coming to perform it.
Well, the beginning is dead and buried.
There comes an old man and his 3 sons.
Imagine this beginning with an old tale.
3 proper young men of excellent growth and presence.
Bills on their necks. Be it known unto all men by these presents.
The eldest of the 3 wrestled with Charles, the Duke's wrestler, which in a moment Charles threw him and broke 3 of his ribs, that there is little hope of life in him. So he searched the 2nd, and so the 3rd.
Yes.
It is the first time that ever I heard breaking of ribs was sport for ladies.
Or I promise thee.
But is there any other longs to see this broken music in his sides? Is there yet another dotes upon rib breaking? Shall we see this wrestling, cousin?
You must, if you stay here, for Here is the place appointed for the wrestling, and they are ready to perform it.
Yonder sure they are coming. Let us now stay and see it.
Somebody to love, find me. Somebody to love, find me. Somebody to love, find me.
Come on! Since the youth will not be entreated, his own peril on his forwardness.
Is yonder the man?
Even he, madam.
Alas, he is too young, yet looks successfully. Call him hither, good Madame Lavelle.
Monsieur, the challenger, the princess calls for you.
I attend them with all respect and duty.
Young man, have you challenged Charles the wrestler?
No, fair princess. He is the general challenger. I come in, but as others do, to try with him the strength of my youth.
Young gentlemen, your spirits are too bold for your years. You've seen cruel proof of this man's strength. We pray you for your own sake to embrace your own safety and give over this attempt.
You, young sir, your reputation shall not be misprized. We will make it our suit to the Duke that the wrestling might not go forward.
I beseech you, punish me not with your hard thoughts, wherein I confess me much guilty to deny such fair, excellent ladies anything. But let your fair eyes and gentle wishes go with me on my trial, wherein, if I am foiled, there is but one shame that was never gracious. If I am killed, there is but one dead who is willing to be so. I shall do my friends no wrong, for I have none to lament me, the world no injury, for in it I have nothing. Only in the world I fill up a place which may be better supplied when I have made it empty.
The little strength that I have, I would it were with you.
In mine to eke out hers.
Ah, come! Where is this young gallant who so desires to lie with his mother earth?
Ready, sir, but his will hath in it a more modest working.
You shall try but one fall.
Now Hercules be thy speed, young man.
I would I were invisible to catch the strong fellow by the leg.
Rock. Paper.
Oh, excellent, young man!
If I had a thunderbolt in mine eye, I could tell who should down.
No more, no more.
Yes, I beseech you, grace. I am not yet well breathed.
How dost thou, Charles?
You cannot speak, my lord.
Bear him away. What is thy name, young man?
Orlando, my liege, the youngest son of Sir Roland de Bois.
I would thou hadst been sent to someone else. The world esteemed thy father honorable, but I did feel mine enemy. Thou shouldst have better pleased me with this deed, hadst thou descended from another house. But fare thee well, thou art a gallant youth. I would thou hadst told me of another father.
I am more proud to be Sir Roland's son, his youngest son, and would not change that calling to be adopted heir to Frederick.
My father loves Sir Roland as all his soul, and the whole world is on my father's mind.
My father's rough and envious disposition strikes me at heart. Sir, you have well deserved. If you do keep your promises and love but justly, as you've exceeded all promise, your mistress shall be happy.
Gentlemen, wear this for me. One out of suits with fortune that could give more, but that her hand lacks means. Shall we go, cuz?
Aye, fare you well, fair gentlemen.
Can I not say I thank you?
He calls us back. Did you call, sir? Sir, you have wrestled well and overthrown more than your enemies.
Will you go, cuz?
I'm with you. Very well.
What passion hangs these weights on my tongue? I cannot speak, yet she urges conference. Oh, poor Orlando, thou art overthrown.
Good sir, I do in friendship counsel you to leave this place. Albeit you have deserved high commendation, true applause, and love. Yet such is now the Duke's condition that he misconstrues all that you have done.
I thank you, ma'am, and I pray you tell me, which of the two was daughter of the Duke that was here at the wrestling?
Neither his daughters, if we judge by manners, but yet indeed the smaller one his daughter, the other daughter to the banished Duke. Sir, fare you well. Hereafter, in a better world than this, I shall desire more love and knowledge of you.
I rest much bound end to you. Fare you well. Thus I must, from smoke unto the smother, from tyrant duke unto tyrant brother. But heavenly Rosalind.
Why, cousin? Why, Rosalind? Cupid have mercy, not a word?
Not one to throw at a dog.
But is this all for your father?
No, some of it's for my child's father. Oh, how full of briars is this working day world!
They are but burrs, cousin, thrown upon thee in holiday foolery. If we walk not in the trodden paths, our very petticoats will catch them.
I could shake them off my coat. These burrs are in my heart.
Hem them away.
I would try, if I could cry out hem, and have him...
Come, wrestle with thy affections.
Oh, take the part of a better wrestler than myself.
What good wish upon you? You will try in time despite of a fall. But turning these jests out of service, let us talk in good earnest. Is it possible that on such a sudden you should fall into so strong a liking with Sir Roland's youngest son?
The Duke, my father, loved his father dearly.
Doth that therefore ensue that you should love his son dearly? By this kind of chase I should hate him, for my father hated his father dearly.
No, faith! Hate him not, for my sake.
Why should I not? Doth he not deserve well?
Let me love him for that. And do you love him? Because I do. Look, here comes the Duke.
With his eyes full of anger.
Mistress, dispatch you with your safest haste, and get you from our court.
Me, uncle?
You, cousin, within these 10 days, if that thou best found. So near our public court is 20 miles, thou diest for it.
I do beseech your grace. Let me the knowledge of my fault bear with me.
Let it suffice thee that I trust thee not.
Yet your mistrust cannot make me a traitor. Tell me whereon this likelihood depends.
Thou art thy father's daughter, there's enough.
So was I when your highness took his dukedom. So was I when your highness banished him. Treason is not inherited, my lord, and if we did derive it from our friends, what's that to me? My father was no traitor. Then could my liege mistake me not so much to think my poverty is treacherous?
Your sovereign, hear me speak.
Aye, Celia, we stayed her for your sake, else had she with her father ranged along.
I did not then entreat to have her stay. That was your own pleasure on your own remorse. I was too young that time to value her. But now I know her. And if she be a traitor, why so am I. We still have slept together, rose at an instant, learned, played, eat together. And wheresoever we went, like Juno's swans, we went coupled and inseparable.
She's too subtle for thee, and her smoothness, her very silence, and her patience speak to the people, and they pity her. Thou art a fool. She robs thee of thy name, and thou wilt show more bright and seem more virtuous when she's gone.
But my lord, I don't...
And open not thy lips. Firm and irrevocable is my doom, which I have passed upon her. She's banished.
Pronounce that sentence then on me, my liege. I cannot live out of her company.
You're a fool. You, niece, provide yourself. If you outstay the time, upon my honor, and in the greatness of my word, you die.
Oh, my poor Rosalind. Whither wilt thou go? Wilt thou change fathers? I will give thee mine. I charge thee, be thou not more grieved than I am.
I have more cause.
Thou hast not, cousin. Knowest thou not the Duke hath banished me, his daughter?
He hath not.
No, hath not. Rosalind lacks then the love that teacheth me that thou and I am one. Shall we be sundered? Shall we part, sweet girl? No. Let my father seek another heir. Therefore devise with me how we may fly, whither to go, and what to bear with us. And do not seek to take your change upon you, to bear your griefs yourself and leave me out. For by now at this heaven, at our sorrows pale, say what thou canst, I'll go along with thee.
Why, whither shall we go?
To seek my uncle in the forest of Arden.
Alas, what danger will it be to us, maids as we are to travel forth so far?
I'll put myself in poor and mean attire, with a kind of umber smirch on my face. The like to you. So shall we pass along and never stir assailants?
Were it not better, because I am more than common tall, that I did suit me all points like a man, gallant curtail axe on my thigh, boar spear in my hand, and in my heart lie there what hidden women's fear their might.
What shall I call thee when thou art a man?
I shall have no worse a name than Job's own page. Look you, call me Ganymede. But what will you be called?
Something that hath a reference to my state. No longer Celia, but Aliena.
Cousin, what if we say to steal the clownish fool from your father's court? Would he not be a comfort to our travel?
He'll go along over the wide world with me. Leave me alone to woo him. Let's away and get our jewels and our wealth together. Devise the fittest time and safest way to hide us from pursuit that will be made. After my flight, now go we in content to liberty and not to banishment.
Now, my comrades and brothers in exile, hath not old custom made this life more sweet than that of patent pomp? Are not these woods more free from peril than the envious court? Here feel we but the penalty of Adam. The season's difference is the icy fang and the churlish chime of winter's wind, which when it bites and blows upon my body, even till I shrink with cold, I smile and say, this is no flattery. These are counselors that feelingly persuade me what I am. And these are life exempt from public hunts. Fine times in trees, books in the running brooks, sermons in stone, and good in everything.
I would not change it. Happy is your grace that can translate the stubbornness of fortune into so quiet and so sweet a style.
Come, shall we go and kill us venison? And yet it irks me, the poor dappled fools, being native burghers of this desert city, should in their own confines, with forked heads, have their round haunches gored.
Indeed, my lord, and the melancholy Jacques grieves with that. And in that kind swears you do more usurp than doth that brother that hath banished you. Today, my lord of Amiens and myself did steal behind him as he lay along, to the which place a poor sequestered stag did languish, and the big round tears coursed one another down his innocent nose in piteous chase. And thus the hairy fool, much marked of the melancholy Jacques, stood on the extremest verge of the swift brook, augmenting it with tears.
But what said Jacques? Did he not moralize the spectacle?
Oh, yes, into 1,000 similes. 'Tis right, quoth he. Thus misery doth part the flocks of company. Anon a careless herd full of pasture jumps along by him and never stays to greet him. Aye, quoth Jacques, sleep on, you fat and greasy citizens. 'Tis just the fashion. Wherefore do you look upon that poor and broken bankrupt there?
And did you leave him in this contemplation?
We did, my lord, weeping and commenting upon the sobbing deer.
Show me the place. I love to cope him in these solemn feats, for then he's full of matter.
I'll bring him to you straight.
Can it be possible that no man saw them? It cannot be. Some villains of my court are in consent and sufferings in this.
I cannot hear of any that did see her.
My lord, the roguish clown at whom so oft your grace is wont to laugh is also missing. Hesperia, the princess gentlewoman, confesses that she secretly overheard your daughter and her cousin much commend the parts and graces of the wrestler that did but lately foil the sinewy Charles, and she believes that wherever they are gone, that youth is surely in their company.
Send his brother, fetch that gallant hither, and let not search and inquisition quell to bring again these foolish runaways.
Who's that?
What? My young master. Oh, my sweet master. Oh, my gentle master. Oh, you memory of old Sir Roland. Why, what make you here? Why are you virtuous? Why do people love you? And wherefore you are gentle, strong, and valiant. Oh, what a world is this, when what is comely envenoms him, that bears it.
Why? What's the matter?
Unhappy youth, come not within these doors, within this roof. The enemy of all your graces lives. Your brother, no brother, yet the son, yet not the son. I will not call him son. Of him, I was about to call his father. Hath heard your praises, and this night he means to ban the lodging where you used to lie, and you within it. I overheard him in his practices. And if he fail of that, he will have other means to cut you off. This is no place. This house is but a butchery. Abhor it, fear it, do not enter it.
Why? Whither? Adam, wouldst thou have me go?
No matter whither, so you not come here.
What? Wouldst thou have me go beg my food? Or with a base and boisterous sword enforce a thievish living on the common road? This I must do, or know not what to do. Yet this I will not do how I can. I will rather subject me to the malice of a diverted blood and bloody brother.
But do not so. I have 500 crowns, the thrifty hire I saved under your father. Here is the gold. All this I give you. Let me be your servant. Be comfort to my age. Though I look old, yet I am strong and lusty. For in my youth I never did acquire hot and rebellious liquors in my blood. Therefore my age is a lusty winter, frosty but kindly. Let me go with you. I'll do the service of a younger man in all your business and necessities.
Oh, good old man! How well in thee appears the constant service of the antique world, when service sweat for duty, not for meed. Bah, come thy ways, and we'll go along together, and here we have thy youthful wages spent, we'll light upon some settled low content.
Master, go on, and I will follow thee until the last gasp and truth with loyalty.
Oh, Jupiter, how weary are my spirits!
I care not for your spirits. My legs were not weary.
I couldn't find it in my heart to disgrace my man's apparel and to cry like a woman. But I must comfort the weaker vessel, as doublet and hose ought to show itself courageous to petticoat. Therefore, courage, good Aliena.
Pray you, bear with me. I cannot go no further.
For my part, I'd rather bear with you than bear you.
Well, this is the Forest of Arden.
Am I now in Arden? The more fool I. When I was at home, I was in a better place.
Look you who comes here, and old man and young in solemn talk.
Ah, that is the way to make her scorn you still.
Oh, Corin, that thou knewest. Oh, I do love her.
Oh, I partly guess, for I have loved ere now.
Oh, thou didst then never loved so heartily, if thou rememberst not the slightest folly that ever love did make thee run into, thou hast not loved, or if thou hast not sat, as I do now, wearing thy here with thy mistress's praise, thou hast not loved, or if thou hast not broke from company abruptly as my passion now makes me, thou hast not loved. Oh, Phoebe, Phoebe, Phoebe.
Alas, poor shepherd, searching of thy wound, I have by hard adventure found mine own.
And mine, but it grows something stale with me.
I pray you, one of you, question yon man if he for gold give us any food. I faint almost to death.
So, holla, you clown.
Who calls?
Not thy kinsman.
Your betters, sir.
Oh, else are they very wretched.
Peace, I say. Good evening to you, friend.
And to you, gentle sir, and to you all.
I prithee, shepherd, if that love or gold can in this desert place buy entertainment, bring us where we may rest ourselves and feed. Here's a young maid with travel much oppressed and faints for succor.
Fair sir, I wish for her sake more than mine own my fortunes were able to relieve her. But I am shepherd to another man and do not share the fleeces that I graze. Besides, his coat, his flock, and bounds of cedar now on sale at our sheepcote now. By reason of his absence, there is nothing you will feed upon. But what is, come see, and in my voice, most welcome you shall be.
What is he that shall buy his flock and pasture?
Oh, that young swain you saw here but erewhile that little cares for buying anything.
I pray thee, if it stand with honesty, buy thou the cottage, flock, and the pasture, and thou shalt have to pay for it of us.
And we will mend thy wages. I like this place and willingly could waste my time in it.
Thirdly, the thing is to be sold. Go with me. If you like upon a port, the soil, the pasture, and this kind of life, your very faithful feeder I will be, and buy it with your gold right suddenly.
Under the greenwood tree, who loves to lie with me and bear his merry note unto the sweet bird's throat. Come hither, come hither, come hither, for he shall see no enemy but winter and rough weather.
More. More. I prithee more.
It will make you melancholy, Monsieur Jacques.
I think it. More, I prithee, more. I can suck melancholy out of a song as a weasel sucks eggs. More, I prithee, more.
My voice, it's ragged. I know I cannot please you.
I do not desire you to please me. I do desire you to sing. Come, more, another stanzo. Call you on stanzos.
What you will, Monsieur Jacques.
Nay, I cannot for their names. They owe me nothing. Will you sing?
Well, I'll end the song. Sirs, cover the while. The Duke shall drink under this tree. He hath been all this day to look you.
And I have been all this day to avoid him. He is too disputable for my company. I think of as many matters as he, but I give heaven thanks and make no boast of them. Come, warble, come.
Who doth ambition shun, loves to live i' the sun, seeking the food he eats, and is pleased with what he gets. Come hither, come hither, come hither, for here he shall see no enemy, but winter and rough weather.
I'll give you a verse to this note that I made yesterday in despite of my invention.
And I'll sing it.
Thus it goes. If it do come to pass that any man turn ass, leaving his wealth and ease, a stubborn will to please. Dr. May, Dr. May, Dr. May, here shall he see gross fools as he, and if he will come to me.
What's that? Duke-a-may?
Dr. May? 'Tis a Greek invocation to call fools into a circle. I'll go to sleep if I can. If I cannot, I'll rail against all the firstborn of Egypt.
And I'll go seek the Duke. His banquet is prepared.
You make me live. Whatever this world can give to me.
Wait, master. I can go no further. I die for food. Here, I shall lie down and measure out my grave. Farewell, kind master.
Why, how now, Adam? No greater heart in thee. Live a little, comfort a little, cheer thyself a little. If this uncouth forest yield anything savage, I will either be food for it or bring it for food to thee. For my sake, be comfortable, hold death a while at arm's end, and I will here be with thee presently. But if I bring thee not something to eat, I will give thee leave to die. But if thou diest before I come back, thou art a marker of my labor. Oh, son, thou lookst cheerly, and I'll be with thee quickly. Yet thou liest in the bleak air. Come, and I'll bear thee to some shelter, and thou shalt not die for lack of dinner if there live anything in this desert. Cheerly, good Adam.
When I wake up in the morning, love, and the sunlight hurts my...
I think he be transformed into a beast, for I can nor find him like a man.
My lord, he is but even now gone hence. Here was he merry, hearing of a song.
Go seek him. Tell him I would speak with him.
So, he saves my labor by his own approach.
A fool! A fool! I met a fool in the forest. A motley fool, a miserable world. As I do live by food, I met a fool. Good morrow, fool, quoth I. No, sir, quoth he. Call me not fool till heaven hath sent me fortune. And then he drew a dial from his token, looking on it with lackluster eyes, says, very wisely. It is 10 o'clock. Thus we may see, quoth he, how the world wags. 'Tis but an hour ago since it was 9, and after 1 hour more 'twill be 11. And so from hour to hour we ripe and ripe, and then from hour to hour we rot and rot, and thereby hangs the tale. When I did hear the motley fool thus marvel on the time, my lungs began to crow like chanticleer that fools should be so deep, contemplative, and I did laugh. Sam's intermission, an hour by his dial. Oh, noble fool, a worthy fool, motley is the only wear.
What fool is this?
Oh, worthy fool, one that hath been a courtier, and says, if ladies be but young and fair, they have the gift to know it. Oh, that I were a fool! I am ambitious for a motley coat.
Thou shalt have one.
It is my only suit, provided that you weed your better judgments of all opinion that grows rank in them, that I am wise. But who comes here?
Forbear, and eat no more.
Why, I have eat none yet.
Nor shalt not till necessity be served.
Of what kind should this cock come of?
Art thou thus bolden man by thy distress, or else a rude despiser of good manners, that in civility thou seemest so empty?
You touched my vein at first. The thorny point to bear distress has ta'en from me the show of smooth civility. Yet I am in that bed, and know some nurture. But forbear, I say, and he dies that touches any of this fruit, till I and my affairs are answered.
And he will not be answered with reason? I must die! Oh, oh, oh.
What would you have? Your gentleness shall force more than your force moves us to gentleness.
I almost die for food, and let me have it.
Sit down and feed, and welcome to our table.
Speak you so gently? Pardon me, I pray you. I thought that all things had been savage here, and therefore put on the countenance of stern commandment. But whate'er you are, if you looked on better days, and though it is to pity, and be pitied, let gentleness my strong enforcement be, in the which hope I blush, and hide my sword.
True is that, we've seen better days, and therefore sit you down in gentleness, and take upon command what help we have, that to your wanting may be ministered.
Then but forbear for a little while, or else like a doe, I go to find my fawn and bring its food. There was an old poor man, who after me hath many a weary step, limped in pure love, till he be first sufficed, oppressed by 2 weak evils, age and hunger. I will not touch a bit.
Go, find them out. We will nothing waste till you return.
I thank you, and be blessed for your good comfort.
Thou seest, we are not all alone, unhappy. This wide and universal theater presents more woeful pageants than the scene wherein we play.
All the world's a stage, and all the men and women merely players. They have their exits and their entrances, and one man in his time plays many parts, his acts being 7 ages. At first, the infant, mewling and puking in the nurse's arms. Then the whining schoolboy with his satchel and shining morning face, creeping like snail unwillingly to school. And then the lover, sighing like furnace with a woeful ballad made to his mistress's eyebrow. Then a soldier, full of strange oaths and bearded like a pard, jealous in honor, sudden and quick in quarrel, seeking the bubble reputation even in the cannon's mouth. And then the justice, in fair round belly with good cap and lined, with eyes severe and beard of formal cut, full of wise saws and modern instances, and so he plays his part. The sixth age shifts into the lean and slippered pantaloon, with spectacles on nose and pouch on side. Oh, his youthful hose well saved, a world too wide for his shrunk shank, and his big, manly voice turning again towards childish treble pipes and whistles in his sounds. Last scene of all, that ends this strange, eventful history, is second childishness and mere oblivion. Son's teeth, son's eyes, son's taste, son's everything.
Woo!
Woo!
Yeah.
Welcome. Set down your venerable burthen and let them feed.
I thank you most for him.
So had you need. I scarce can speak to thank you myself.
Fall to. I will not trouble you as yet to question you about your fortunes. If that you were the good Sir Roland's son, as you've whispered faithfully you were, be truly welcome hither. I'm the Duke that loved your father, the residue of your fortune. Good old man, thou art right welcome as thy master is. That seems since. Sir, that cannot be. Find out thy brother, wheresoever he is. Seek him with candle, bring him dead or living, within these 12 months, or turn thou no more to seek a living in our territory.
Oh, that your highness knew my heart in this. I never loved my brother in my life.
More villain thou. Well, push him out of doors, and let my officers of such nature put an extent on his house and lands. Do this expediently, and turn and go in.
Getting heavy.
Buy my fortune.
You beg, then that is
Hard
spent.
to live.
So my reward.
Your mind begins to wander.
My own honor.
Things start to drift.
Emma.
And your courtiers' hands sweat.
They turn me out.
Arms are getting heavy.
East to western end, no jewels, is like
Hard
Roslyn.
to live.
Island of many parts. By heavenly city was
And sink
far.
down a little
Work it
deeper.
over, find him like a man.
Feeling wonderful. Feeling wonderful.
Sir.
Maybe you're falling in love. Maybe you're falling in love. Maybe you're falling in love. You stare across the harbor, lights along the bay. Your arms have got so heavy now, they're just getting in your way. Look, now you're walking in the Holy Land. Yeah, that's you there, walking with the King. You ask, what have I done to deserve this? Well, you haven't done a thing. Maybe you're falling in love. Maybe you're falling in love. Maybe I'm falling in love. Maybe you're falling in love. Maybe you're falling
dove. Be cove!
When I get home, babe, gonna light your fire. All day I've been thinking about you, babe. You're my one desire. Gonna wrap my arms around you and hold you close to me.
Hang there, my verse, in witness of my love. Oh, Rosalind, the tree shall be my books, and in their books my thoughts are character. Run, Orlando, carve on every tree, the fair, the chaste, and unexpressive she.
Don't know where I'd be. You're not just another lover, no, you're everything to me. Every time I'm with you, baby.
How like you the shepherd's life, Master Touchstone?
Oh, truly, shepherd, in respect of itself, it is a good life. But in respect that it is a shepherd's life, it is not. In respect that it is solitary, I like it very well. But in respect that it is private, it is a very vile life. But now in respect that it is in the fields, pleaseth me well. But in respect that it is not in the court, it is tedious. Hast any philosophy in thee, shepherd?
No more but that I know. That a great property for the rain is to wet, and a fire to burn. That good pasture makes fat sheep, and that a great cause of the night is the lack of the sun.
Oh, such a one is a natural philosopher. Oh, wast thou ever in court, shepherd?
Oh, no, truly.
Then thou art damned.
Hey, I hope.
Truly, thou art damned, like an ill-roasted egg, all on one side.
Not a whit, Touchstone. You know, those that are good behaviors at the court are as ridiculous in the country as behaviors of the country are most mockable at the court. No, you told me you salute not at the court, but you kiss your hands. That behavior would be uncleanly if courtiers were shepherds.
Instance, briefly. Come, instance.
Why, we are handling the ewes. Their fells are, greasy.
Why do not your courtiers' hands sweat? And is not the grease of a mutton as wholesome as the sweat of a man? Shallow, a better instance, I say, come.
Besides, our hands are hard.
Oh, most shallow man, thou art worm's meat in respect of a good piece of flesh indeed.
Your wit is too courtly for me. I'll rest.
Wilt thou rest damned? God help thee, shallow man. God make incision in thee. Thou art raw.
Sir, I'm a true laborer. I earn that I eat, get that I wear. Oh, no man hate, envy, no man's happiness, content with my harm. You know, my greatest pride is to see my ewes graze and my lambs suck.
That is another simple sin in you. To bring the ewes and rams together and to offer to get your living by the copulation of cattle. To be bought by a bellwether and to betray a she-lamb of a 12-month to a crooked, pated, old cuckoldly ram out of all reasonable match. If thou beest not damned for this, the devil himself will have no shepherd. I cannot see else how thou shouldst scape.
Oh, here comes young Master Ganymede, our new mistress's brother.
From the east to western end, no jewel is like Rosalind. All the pictures fairest lined are but black to Rosalind. Let no face be kept in mind but the fair of Rosalind.
I'll rhyme you so 8 years together, dinners and suppers and sleeping hours accepted. Oh, it is the right butterwoman's rank to market.
Out, fool.
If a heart do lack a hind, let him seek out Rosaline. If the cat a way will find, so be sure will Rosaline. Sweetest nut hath, sourest rind. Such a nut is Rosaline. He that sweetest rose will find must find love's prick and Rosaline. Oh, this is a very false gallop of verses. Why do you infect yourself with them?
Yes, you dull fool. I found them on a tree.
Truly the tree yields bad fruit.
Peace, I say.
Here comes my sister reading. Stand aside.
O Rosalind of many parts, thy heavenly synod was devised, of many faces, eyes, and hearts, to have the touch's dearest prize. Heaven would that she these gifts should have, and I to live and die her slave.
Oh, most gentle Jupiter, what tedious homily of love have you wearied your parishioners withal? Never cried once, have patience, good people.
How now? Back, friends. Shepherd, go off a little. Go with him, sirrah.
Come, shepherd, let us make an honorable retreat.
Didst thou hear these verses?
Oh, yes, I heard them all, and more too, for some of them had in them more feet than the verses would bear.
But didst thou hear without wondering how thy name should be carved and hanged upon these trees?
I was 7 of the 9 days out of wonder before you came. For look here what I found on a palm tree.
Know you who hath done this?
Is it a man?
And a chain that you once wore about his neck. Change you color.
I prithee, who?
Oh, Lord, Lord.
Nay, but who is it?
Is it possible?
Nay, I prithee now, with the most petitionary vehemence, tell me who it is.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful, and most wonderful, wonderful, and yet again wonderful, and after that of all whooping.
With my complexion, dost thou think though I am caparisoned like a man, have a doublet and hose in my disposition? I prithee, take the cork out of thy mouth that I may drink thy tidings.
So you may put a man in your belly?
Is he of God's making? What manner of man? Is his head worth a hat, or his chin worth a beard?
Nay, he hath but a little beard.
God will send more if the man will be thankful. Let me stay the growth of his beard, if you delay me not the knowledge of his chin.
It is young Orlando that tripped up the wrestler's heels and your heart both in an instant.
Nay, the devil take mocking. Speak sad, brow, and true, maid.
I faith, cuz. 'Tis he.
Orlando. Alas the day! What shall I do with my doublet and hose? What did he when thou sawest him? What said he? How looked he? Wherein went he? What makes he here? Did he ask for me? Where remains he? How parted he with thee? When shalt thou see him again? Answer me in one word.
You must borrow me Gargantua's mouth first. 'Tis a word too great for any mouth this age's size.
But doth he know that I am in this forest and in man's apparel? Looks he as freshly as he did the day he wrestled?
It is easy to count atomies as to resolve the propositions of a lover. But take the taste of my finding him and relish it with good observance. I found him under a tree like a dropped acorn.
May well be called Jove's tree when it drops forth such fruit.
Give me audience, good madam.
Proceed.
There lay he, stretched along like a wounded knight.
Though it be pity to see such sight, it well becomes the ground.
Cry hollow to thy tongue, I prithee, it curvets unseasonably. He was furnished like a hunter.
Oh, ominous! He comes to kill my heart.
I would sing my song without a burden, thou bringest me out of tune.
Do you not know that I am a woman? When I think, I must speak. Sweet, say on.
You bring me out. Soft. Comes he not here?
Dizzy, slink by and note him.
I thank you for your company, but good faith, I had as lief have been myself alone.
And so had I, but yet, for fashion's sake, I thank you too for your society.
God be with you. Let's meet as little as we can.
I do desire we may be better strangers.
I pray you, mar no more trees with writing love songs in their barks.
I pray you mar no more of my verses with reading them ill-favoredly.
Rosalind is your love's name?
Yes, just.
I do not like her name.
There was no thought of pleasing you when she was christened.
What stature is she of?
Just as high as my heart.
You are full of pretty answers. Will you sit with me and we two will rail against our mistress, the world, and all our misery?
I will chide no breather in the world but myself, against whom I know most faults.
The worst fault you have is to be in love.
'Tis a fault I would not change for your best virtue. I am weary of you.
By my troth, I was seeking a fool when I found you.
He is drowned in the brook. Look but in, and you shall see him.
There I shall see mine own figure. I'll tarry no longer with you. Farewell, good Signor Love.
I am glad of your departure. Adieu, good Monsieur Melancholy.
I shall speak to him like a saucy lackey, and under that impression play the knave with him. Do you hear, Forster?
Very well. What would you?
I pray you. What is it o'clock?
You should ask me what time of day. There is no clock in the forest.
Else there is no lover in the forest, else sighing every minute and groaning every hour would detect the lazy foot of time as well as a clock.
Where dwell you, pretty youth?
With this shepherdess, my sister, here in the skirts of the forest, like fringe upon a petticoat.
Your accent is something finer than you can purchase in so removed a dwelling.
I have been told so of many, but indeed an old, religious uncle of mine taught me to speak, who was, in his youth, an inland man, one that knew courtship too well, for there he fell in love. I have heard him read many lectures against it, and I thank God I'm not a woman. Touched with so many giddy offences that he hath generally taxed their whole sex withal.
I prithee, recount some of them.
No, I will not cast away my physic, but on those that are sick. There is a man haunts this forest with carving Rosalind in the barks, hangs odes upon hawthorns, elegies on brambles, all forsooth in deifying the name Rosalind. If I could meet that fancy monger, I would give him some good counsel, for he seems to have the quotidian of love upon him.
I am he that is so love-shaken. I pray you tell me your remedy.
There is none of my uncle's marks in you. He taught me to know a man in love, in which cage of rushes I am sure you are not prisoner.
What were his marks?
Lean cheek, which you have not. Blue eye and sunken, which you have not. An unquestionable spirit, which you have not. A beard neglected, which you have not. Then your hose should be ungartered, your bonnet unbanded, your sleeve unbuttoned, and your shoes untied, and everything about you demonstrating a careless desolation. But you are no such man. You are rather point device in your accoutrements as loving yourself than seeming the lover of any other.
Fair youth, I would I could make thee believe I love.
Make me believe it. You may as well make her that you love believe it, which she is apter to do than to confess she does. This is one of the points in which women still give the lie to their consciences. But in good sooth, are you he that hangs the verses on the trees wherein Rosalind is so admired?
I swear to thee, youth, by the white hand of Rosalind, I am that he, that unfortunate he.
But are you so much in love as your rhymes speak?
Neither rhyme nor reason could express how much.
Love is merely a madness, in which cage the prisoners are not ought to be punished. And I tell you the reason they're not punished is because the whippers are in love too. But I do confess curing it by counsel.
Did you ever cure any so?
Yes, one, and in this manner. He was to imagine me his love, his mistress, and I set him every day to my cot to woo me. At which time would I, being but a moonish youth, grieve, be effeminate, changeable, longing and liking, proud, fantastical, apish, shallow, inconstant, full of tears, full of smiles, for every passion something, and for no passion truly anything. Would now like him, now loathe him, then entertain him, then forswear him, now weep for him, then spit at him. And thus I drave my suitor out of his mad humor of love to a living humor of madness, which was to forswear the entire stream of the world and to live in a nook merely monastic. And thus I cured him, and this way will I take upon me to wash your liver as clean as a sound sheep's heart, and there shall not be one spot of love in it.
I would not be cured, fair youth.
I would cure you if you would but call me Rosalind, and come to my cot every day to woo me.
And now, by the faith of my love, I will. Tell me where it is.
Go with me to it, and I shall show you it. And by the way, you shall tell me where in the forest you live. Will you go?
With all my heart, good youth.
Nay, you must call me Rosalind. Come, sister, will you go?
So show me everything you do. 'Cause baby, no one does it quite like you.
Oh, Come apace, good Audrey. I will fetch up your goats, Audrey. And how, Audrey? Am I the man yet? Doth my simple feature content you?
Lord warrant us, what features?
I am with thee and thy goats as the most capricious poet honest Ovid was among the Goths.
Oh, knowledge ill-inhabited, worse than Jove in a thatched house.
Oh, truly I would have the gods made thee poetical.
I do not know what poetical is. Is it honest indeed in word? Is it a true thing?
No, truly, for the truest poetry is the most feigning, and lovers are given to poetry, and what they swear in poetry may be said as lovers they do feign.
Do you wish, then, that the gods had made me poetical?
I do, truly, for thou swearest to me thou art honest. Now, if thou wert a poet, I might have some hope thou didst feign.
Would you not have me honest?
No, truly, unless thou wert hard-favored, for honesty coupled to beauty is to have honey a sauce to sugar.
A material fool.
Well, I am not fair, and therefore I pray the gods make me honest.
Truly, and to praise honesty upon a foul slut were to put good meat into an unclean dish.
Well, I'm not a slut, and therefore I thank the gods I'm foul.
Ugh. Praised be the gods for thy foulness. Sluttishness may come hereafter. But, be it as it may be, I will marry thee. And to that end, I have been with Sir Oliver Martex, the vicar of the next village, who hath promised to meet me in this place of the forest, and to couple us.
I would fain see this meeting.
Well, the gods give us joy.
Oh, amen. Oh, Sir Oliver Martex, you are well met. Oh, will you dispatch us here under this tree, or shall we go with you to your chapel?
Is there none here to give the woman?
So I will not take her on gift of any man.
Truly, she must be given, or the marriage is not lawful.
Proceed. I'll give her.
Oh, good evening, good monsieur. What you call it? How do you do, sir? Oh, you are very well met. God ill you for your last company, sir. I am very glad to see you, even a toy in hand here, sir. Nay, pray, be covered.
Will you be married, Motley?
As the ox hath his bow, sir, so man hath his desires.
And will you, being a man of your breeding, be married under a bush like a beggar? Get you to church and have a good priest that can tell you what marriage is.
I am not in the mind, but I were better to be married of him than of another, for he is not like to marry me well, and not being well married, it will be a good excuse for me hereafter to leave my wife.
Go thou with me, and let me counsel thee.
Come, sweet Audrey, we must be married, or we must live in Bodby. Oh, farewell, good Master Oliver. Not, oh, sweet Oliver, oh, brave Oliver, leave me not behind thee, but wind away. Begone, I say, I will not to wedding with thee.
'Tis no matter, ne'er a fantastical knave of them all shall flout to me of my calling.
Never talk to me, I will weep!
Do, I prithee, but yet have grace to consider that tears do not become a man.
But have I not cause to weep?
As good a cause as one would desire, therefore weep.
His very hair is of the dissembling color.
Something browner than Judas's. Marry his kisses or Judas's own children.
But, Faith, his hair is of good color.
An excellent color.
And his kissing is as full of sanctity as a touch of holy bread.
He hath but a pair of cast lips of Diana.
But why did he swear he would come this morning and comes not?
Nay, certainly there is no truth in him.
Do you think so?
Yes, I think he is not a pick purse nor a horse stealer, but for his verity and love, I think him as concave as a covered goblet or a worm-eaten nut.
Not true in love?
Yes, when he is in, but I think he is not in.
You have heard him swear downright that he was.
Was is not is. He attends here in the forest on the Duke your father.
I met the Duke yesterday and had much question with him. He asked me what parentage I was, so I said of as good as him, so he laughed and let me go. But what talk we of parents when there is such a man as Orlando?
Oh, that's a brave man. He writes brave verses, speaks brave words, swears brave oaths, and breaks them bravely. But all's brave at youth mounts and folly guides. Who comes here?
Mistress and master, you have oft inquired after the shepherd that complained of love, praising the proud, disdainful shepherdess that was his mistress.
Well, and what of him?
Well, if you will see a pageant truly played between the pale complexities of true love and the red glow of scorn and proud disdain, go hence, little, and I shall conduct you if you will mark it.
Oh, come, let us remove. The sight of lovers feedeth those in love.
Oh, sweet Phoebe, do not scorn me. Do not, Phoebe. Say that you love me not, but say not so in bitterness. The common executioner, whose heart the accustomed sight of death makes hard, falls not the axe upon the humble neck, but first begs pardon. Will you sterner be than he that lives and dies by bloody drops?
I would not be thy executioner. I fly thee, for I would not injure thee. Thou'dst tell me there was murder in mine eye. 'Tis pretty sure and very probable that eyes that are the frailest and softest things should be called tyrants, butchers, and murderers. Now I do frown on thee with all my heart, and if mine eyes can wound, now let them kill thee. Now counterfeit to swoon, why now fall down? Or if thou cannot, oh, for shame, why not to say mine eyes are murderers? Now show me the wound mine eye hath made on thee. Scratch thee but with a pin, and there remains some scar of it. Now mine eyes, which I have darted at thee, hurt thee not, nor I am sure there is no force in eyes that can do hurt.
Oh, dear Phoebe, if ever, as ever may be near, you meet in some fresh cheek the power of fancy, then shall you know the wounds invisible that love's keen arrows make.
But till that time come not thou near me, and when that time comes, afflict me with thy mocks, pity me not, as till that time I shall not pity thee.
And why, I pray you? Who might be your mother that you insults, exalts all at once over the wretched? What, though you have no beauty, must you therefore be proud and pitiless?
I've heard people say that.
Why? What means this?
Too much of anything.
Why do you look so upon me? I see no more in you than the ordinary of nature's sail work.
I don't know about that.
Odds my life, I think she means to tangle my eyes too. No, faith, proud mistress, hope not after it. 'Tis not your inky brows, your black silk hair, your bugle eyebrows, nor your cheek of cream can attain my eyes to your worship. You foolish shepherd, wherefore do you follow like foggy south puffing with wind and rain? You are 1,000 times proper a man than she a woman. 'Tis not the glass, but you that flatters her, and out of you she sees herself more proper than her own lineaments can show her. But mistress, know yourself. Down on your knees and thank heaven, fasting for a good man's love. For I must tell you, friendly in your ear, sell when you can. You are not for all markets. Cry the man mercy, take his love, take his offer. Foul is most foul, being foul to be a scoffer. So take her to thee, shepherd. Fare you well. Well.
Sweet youth, I pray you chide a year together. I'd rather hear you chide than this man woo.
He's fallen in love with your foulness, and she'll fall in love with my anger. If it be so, the faster she answers with frowning looks, I'll sauce her with bitter words. Why do you look so upon me?
For no ill will I bear you.
I pray you, do not fall in love with me, for I am falser than vows made in wine. Besides, I like you not. Come, sister.
Dead shepherd, now I find I saw might whoever loved that not loved at first sight.
Sweet Phoebe.
What sayest thou, Silvius?
Sweet Phoebe, pity me.
Why, I am sorry for thee, gentle Silvius.
Wherever sorrow is, relief would be. If you do sorrow at my grief and love, by giving love, your sorrow and my grief were both extermined.
Thou hast my love, is that not neighborly?
I would have you.
Why, that were covetousness. Silvius, the time was that I hated thee, and yet it is not that I bear thee love, but since thou canst talk of love so well, thy company which erst was irksome to me, I will endure, and I'll employ thee too. Knowest thou the youth that spoke to me erewhile?
Not very well, but I have met him oft. He hath bought the cottage in the bounds the old Carlet once was master of.
Think not I love him, though I ask for him. 'Tis but a peevish boy, yet he talks well. Oh, but what care I for words? Yet words too well, when he that speaks them pleases those that hear. It is a pretty youth, not very pretty, and sure he's proud, and yet his pride becomes him. He'll make a proper man. The best thing in him is his complexion, and faster than his tongue did make offense, his eye did heal it up. He is not very tall, and yet for his years he's tall. His leg is but so, and yet 'tis well. There was a pretty redness in his lip, a little riper and more lusty red than that mixed in his cheek. 'Twas just the difference betwixt the constant red and mingled damask. There be some women, Silvius, had they marked him in parcels as I did, would have gone near to fall in love with him. But for my part, I love him not, nor hate him not, and yet I have more cause to hate him than to love him for what he had to do to chide at me. He said mine eyes were black and mine hair black, and now I am remembered, scorned at me. And why, I marvel why I answer not again. That's all one, admittance is no quittance. I will write him a very taunting letter, and thou shalt bear it. Wilt thou, Silvius?
Phoebe, with all my heart.
I'll write it straight. The matter's in my head and in my heart. I will be bitter with him and passing short. Go with me, Silvius.
It's just not enough. Oh, man.
I prithee, pretty youth, let me be better acquainted with thee.
They say you are a melancholy fellow.
I am so. I do love it better than laughing.
Those that are in extremity of either are abominable fellows, and betray themselves to every modern censure worse than drunkards.
Why, 'tis good to be sad and say nothing.
Why then? 'Tis good to be a post.
I have neither the scholar's melancholy, which is emulation, nor the musicians, which is fantastical, nor the courtiers, which is proud, nor the soldiers, which is ambitious, nor the lawyers, which is politic, nor the ladies, which is nice, nor the lovers, which is all of these. But it is a melancholy of mine own, compounded of many simples extracted from many objects, and indeed the sundry contemplation of my travels, in which my often rumination wraps me in a most humorous sadness.
A traveler. By my faith, you have great reason to be sad, for I fear you have sold your own lands to see other man's. Then to have seen much and to have nothing is to have rich eyes and poor hands.
Good day and happiness, dear Rosalind.
Nay then, God be with you, and you talk in blank verse.
Why, how now, Orlando? Where have you been all this while? You a lover, and you serve me such another trick, never come in my sight more.
My fair Rosalind, I come within an hour of my promise.
Break in hours, promise and love. He that will divide a minute into 1,000 parts, and breaks but a part of the 1,000th part of a minute in the affairs of love, it may be said that Cupid hath clapped him on the shoulder, but all warrant him heart whole.
Pardon me, dear Rosalind.
Nay, and you be so tardy, never come in my sight more. I had his leaf be wooed of a snail.
Of a snail?
Aye, of a snail. For though he comes slowly, he carries his house on his head. Come, woo me. Woo me, for now I am in holiday humor, and like enough to consent. What would you say to me now when I were your very, very Rosalind?
I would kiss before I spoke.
Nay, you were better speak first. And when you were gravelled for lack of matter, you might take occasion to kiss. Very good orators. When they are out, they will spit. And for lovers lacking, God warn us, matter, the cleanliness shift is to kiss.
And how if the kiss be denied?
She puts you to entreaty, and there begins new matter.
Who could be out being before his beloved mistress?
Mary, that should you if I were your mistress, or else I should think my honesty ranker than my wit.
What, of my suit?
Not out of your apparel, and yet out of your suit. Am not I your Rosalind?
I take some joy to say that you are, because I would be talking of her.
Well, in her person, I say I will not have you.
Then in mine own person I die.
No, faith, die by attorney. This poor world is almost 6,000 years old, and in all this time, there was not one man died in his own person, i.e. in a love cause. These are all lies. Men die from time to time, and worms eat them, but not for love.
I would not have my right Rosalind of this mind, for I protest a frown might kill me.
By this hand, it would not kill a fly. But come, now I will be your Rosalind in a more coming on disposition, and ask me what you will, I will grant it.
Then love me, Rosalind.
Yes, faith will I, Fridays and Saturdays and all.
And wilt thou have me?
I and 20 such.
What sayest thou?
Are you not good?
I hope so.
Well then, can one desire too much of a good thing? Come, sister, you shall be the priest and marry us. What do you say, sister?
Pray thee, marry us.
I cannot say the words.
You must begin, will you, Orlando?
Oh, will you, Orlando, have to wife this Rosalind?
I will.
Aye, but when?
Why now? As soon as she can marry us.
Then you must say, I take thee, Rosalind, for wife.
I take thee, Rosalind, for wife.
I might ask you for your commission, but I do take thee, Orlando, for husband. There's a girl goes before the priest, and surely a woman's thought runs before her action.
So do all thoughts, they are winged.
Now tell me how long you would have her after you have possessed her.
Forever and a day.
Say a day without the ever. No, Orlando. Men are April when they woo, December when they wed. Maids are May when they are maids, but the sky changes when they are wives. I will be more jealous of thee than a Barbary cock pigeon over a pin, more newfangled than an ape, more clamorous than a parrot against rain, more giddy in my desires than a monkey. I will weep for nothing, and that when you are disposed to be happy. I will laugh like a hyena, and that when thou art inclined to sleep.
But will my Rosalind do so?
By my life, she will do as I do.
Oh, but she is wise.
Or else she has not the wit to do this. The wiser, the waywarder. Make the doors upon a woman's wit, and it will out at the casement. Shut that, 'twill out at the keyhole. Stop that, 'twill fly with the smoke out the chimney.
For these 2 hours, Rosalind, I will leave thee.
Alas, dear love, I cannot lack thee these 2 hours.
I must attend the Duke at dinner. By 2 o'clock, I will be with thee again.
Aye, go your ways. Go your ways. I knew it you would prove. My friends told me as much, and I thought no less. That flattering tongue of yours won me. 'Tis but one cast away. And so come, death. 2 o'clock is your hour.
Aye, sweet Rosalind.
By my troth, and in good earnest, and so God mend me, and by all pretty oaths that are not dangerous, if you break one jot of your promise, or come 1 minute behind your hour, I will think you the most pathetical break promise, and the most unhollow lover, and the most unworthy of her that you call Rosalind that could be chosen out of the gross band of the unfaithful. Therefore, beware my promise, and keep your promise.
With no less religion than if thou wert indeed my Rosalind. So do.
Time is the old justice that examines all such offenders, and let time try. Adieu.
You have simply misused our sex in your love prate. We shall have your doublet and hose plucked over your head and show the world what the bird hath done to her own nest.
Oh, cuz, my pretty little cuz, that thou didst know how many fathom deep I am in love. But it cannot be sounded. My affection hath an unknown bottom, like the Bay of Portugal.
Or rather bottomless, that as fast as you pour affection in, it runs out.
I'll tell thee, Aliena, I cannot bear the sight of Orlando. I'll go find a shadow inside till he come.
Then I'll sleep.
What say you now? Is it not past 2 o'clock? And here much Orlando.
I warrant you, with pure love and troubled brain, he hath ta'en his bow and arrows and is gone forth to sleep. Look who comes here.
My errand is to you, fair youth. My gentle Phoebe did bid me give you this. I know not the contents, but as I guess by the stern brow and waspish action which she did use as she was writing of it, it bears an angry tenor. Pardon me, I am but a guiltless messenger.
Patience herself would startle at this letter and play the swaggerer. Bear this, bear all. She says I am not fair, that I lack manners. She calls me proud, and that she could not have me were men as rare as Phoenix. Odds my will, her love is not the hare that I do hunt. Why writes she so to me? Well, shepherd, well, this is a letter of your own device.
No, I protest, I know not the contents. Phoebe did write it.
Oh, come, you are a fool, and turned into the extremity of love. I say she never did write this letter. This is a man's invention and his hand.
Sure it is hers.
Will you hear the letter?
So please you, for I have never heard it yet heard too much of Phoebe's cruelty.
She Phoebe's me. Mark how the tyrant writes. Art thou God to shepherd turned, that a maiden's heart hath burned? Can a woman rail thus?
Call you this railing?
If the scorn of your bright eyne have the power to raise such love in mine, alas, what strange effect would it work in mild aspect? He that brings this love to thee little knows this love in me, and by him seal up thy mind, whether that thy youth and kind will of my faithful offer take, and all that I can make, or else by him my love deny, and then I'll study how to die.
Are you this chiding?
Alas, poor shepherd.
Do you pity him? No, he deserves no pity. Wilt thou love such a woman? What, to make thee an instrument, and to play false strains upon thee? Not to be endured. Well, go your ways to her, for I see love hath made thee a tame snake, and say this to her, that if she love me, I charge her to love thee. If she will not, I will never have her unless thou entreat for her. If you be a true lover, hence, and not a word, for here comes more company.
Morrow, fair ones, pray you, if you know, where in the purlieus of this forest stands a sheepcote, fenced about with olive trees.
West of this place, down in the neighbor bottom, the rank of osiers by the murmuring stream, left on your right hand brings you to the place. But by this hour the house doth keep itself. There's none within.
If that an eye may profit by a tongue, then I should know thee by description. Such garments, such years. The boy is fair of female favor, and bestows himself like a ripe young sister, and the woman low and browner than her brother. Are you not the owners of the house I did inquire for?
It is no boast, being asked, to say we are.
Orlando doth commend him to you both, and that he calls his Rosalind, he sends this bloody napkin. Are you he?
I am. What must we understand by this?
Some of my shame, if you will know of me, what man I am, and how and why and where this handkerchief was stained.
I pray you, tell it.
When last the young Orlando parted from you, he left a promise to return again. Within an hour, and pacing through the forest, chewing the food of sweet and bitter fancy, lo, what befell. He threw his eye aside, and mark what object did present itself. A wretched, ragged man, o'ergrown with hair, lay sleeping on his back. About his neck a green and gilded snake had wreathed itself, who, with her head, nimble in threats, did approach the opening of his mouth. But suddenly, in seeing Orlando, it slipped away with intended glides into a bush, underneath which bush's shade, a lioness, udders all drawn dry, lay couching, head on ground with cat-like watch. This seen, Orlando did approach the man, and found it was his brother, his elder brother.
Oh, I have heard him speak of that same brother, and he did render him the most unnatural that lived amongst men.
And well, he might do so, for well I know he was unnatural.
But to Orlando, did he leave in there food to the hungry and sucked lioness?
Twice did he turn his back, and purposed so, but kindness, nobler ever than revenge, made him give battle to the lioness, who quickly fell before him, in which, hurtling from miserable slumber, I awakened.
Are you his brother?
Was it you he rescued?
Was you that did so oft contrive to kill him?
'Twas I, but 'tis not I. I do not shame to tell you what I was, since my conversion so sweetly tastes, being the thing that I am.
But for the bloody napkin.
By and by, when from the first to last betwixt us two, tears our countenance had most kindly bathed, as how I came into that desert place. In brief, he led me to the gentle Duke, who gave me fresh array and entertainment, committing me unto my brother's love, who led me instantly unto his cave, there stripped himself, and here upon his arm the lioness had torn some flesh away, and which all this while had bled, and now he fainted, and cried in fainting upon Rosalind. Brief, I recovered him, bound up his wound, and after some small space, being strong at heart, he sent me hither, stranger as I am, to tell this story, that you might excuse his broken promise, and to give this bloody napkin unto the shepherd youth that he doth in sport call his Rosalind.
How now, Ganymede? Sweet Ganymede!
Many will swoon when they do look on blood.
There's more in it. Cousin Ganymede!
Look, he recovers.
I would I were at home.
We'll lead you thither. I pray you, will you take him by the arm?
Be of good cheer, youth. You a man? You lack a man's heart.
I do so, I confess it. I pray you tell your brother how well I counterfeited. Hi-ho.
This was not counterfeit. There is too great testimony in your complexion that it was a passion of earnest.
Counterfeit, I assure you.
Well then, take a good heart and counterfeit to be a man.
So I do, but a faith I should have been a man by right.
Come, you look paler and paler. Good, pray you draw homewards. Good sir, go with us.
That I will, for I must bear answer back. How you excuse my brother, Rosalind?
I shall devise something. I pray you, tell your brother how well I counterfeited. Will you go?
Why do birds suddenly appear every time you are near? Just like me, they long to be close to you. Why do stars fall down from the sky every time you walk by? Just like me, they long to be close to you. On the day that you were born, the angels got...
We shall find a time, Audrey. Patience, gentle Audrey.
Faith, the priest was good enough for all the old gentlemen's sayings.
Oh, a most wicked Sir Oliver, Audrey, a most vile Martext. But, Audrey, there is a youth in this forest lays claim to you.
I know who 'tis. He hath no interest in me in the world. Here comes the man you mean.
It is meat and drink to me to see a clown.
Good evening, Audrey. God give good evening, William. And
Good even to you, sir.
Oh, good even, gentle friend. Oh, cover thy head. Nay, prithee, be covered. Oh, how old are you, friend?
5 and 20, sir.
Oh, a ripe age. Oh, is thy name William?
William, sir.
Oh, a fair name. Wast thou born in the forest here?
Aye, sir, I thank God.
Oh, thank God. A good answer. Art thou rich?
Faith, sir, so-so.
So is good. Very good. Very excellent good. And yet it is not. It is but so-so. Art thou wise?
Aye, sir, I have a pretty wit.
Oh, why thou sayest well. I do now remember a saying, the fool doth think he is wise, but the wise man knows himself to be a fool. Oh, you do love this maid?
I do, sir.
Give me your hand. Art thou learned?
No, sir.
Then learn this of me. To have is to have, for it is a figure in rhetoric that drink, being poured out of a cup into a glass by filling the one, doth empty the other. For all your writers do consent that Ipsy is he. Now, you are not Ipsy, for I am he.
Which he, sir?
He, sir, that must marry this woman. Therefore, you clown, abandon, which is the vulgar, leave this society, which is the boorish company of this female, which is the common woman, which put all together is abandon the society of this female, or clown, thou perish, or to thy better understanding, diest. I will kill thee 150 ways, therefore tremble and depart.
Do good, William.
God rest you merry, sir.
Oh, you're the best friend that I ever had.
Is it possible that on so little acquaintance you should like her? That's but seeing you should love her, and loving woo, and wooing she should grant, and will you persever to enjoy her?
Neither call the giddiness of it in question, the poverty of her, the small acquaintance, my sudden wooing, nor her sudden consenting, but say with me, I love Aliena, and say with her that she loves me. Consent with both that we may enjoy each other. It shall be to your good, for my father's house and all the revenue that was old Sir Roland's, I will estate unto you, and here live and die a shepherd.
You have my consent. Let your wedding be tomorrow. Thither will I invite the Duke to the nuptial. But go you, and prepare Aliena, for, look you, here comes my Rosalind.
God save you, brother.
And you, fair sister.
Oh, my dear Orlando, how it grieves me to see thee wear thy heart in a scarf.
It is my arm.
I thought thy heart had been wounded with the claws of a lion.
Wounded it is, but with the eyes of a lady.
Did your brother tell you how I counterfeited to swoon when he showed me your handkerchief?
Aye, and greater wonders than that.
Ah, I know where you are. Nay, 'tis true. There was never anything so sudden, but the fight of 2 rams in Caesar's brag I came, saw, and overcame. For your brother and my sister no sooner met, but looked, no sooner looked, but they loved, no sooner loved, but they sighed, no sooner sighed, but they asked one another the reason, no sooner knew the reason, but they sought the remedy, and in these degrees have they made a pair of stairs to marriage, which they will climb incontinent or else be incontinent before marriage. They are in the very wrath of love, and they will together. Clubs cannot part them.
They shall be married tomorrow, and I will bid the Duke to the nuptial. But, oh, how bitter a thing is to look into happiness through another man's eyes.
Why then, tomorrow I cannot serve your turn for Rosalind?
I can live no longer by thinking.
I will weary you no longer with idle talking. Know of me then, for now I speak to some purpose, that I can do strange things,
I have, since I were 3-year-old, conversed with a magician, most profound in his art and yet not damnable. If you do love Rosalind so near the heart as your gesture cries it out, when your brother marries Aliena, shall you marry her? I happen to know into what straits of fortune she is driven, and it is not impossible to me, if it seem not inconvenient to you, to set her before your eyes tomorrow, human as she is and without any danger.
Speakst thou in sober meanings?
By my life I do, which I tender dearly, though I say I am a magician. Therefore put you in your best array and bid your friends, for if you shall be married tomorrow, you will, and to Rosalind, if you will.
Aye.
Look who comes here, a lover of mine and a lover of hers.
You have done me much ungentleness to show the letter I writ to you.
I care not if I have. It is my study to seem despiteful and ungentle to you. There you are followed by a faithful shepherd. Look upon him, love him. He worships you.
Good shepherd, tell this youth what 'tis to love.
It is to be all made of sighs and tears. And so am I for Phoebe.
And I for Ganymede.
And I for Rosalind.
And I for no woman.
It is to be all made of faith and service. And so am I for Phoebe.
And I for Ganymede.
And I for Rosalind.
And I for no woman.
It is to be all made of fantasy, all made of passion, all made of wishes, all adoration, duty, and observance, all humbleness, all patience and impatience, all purity, all trial, all observance. And so am I for Phoebe.
And so am I for Ganymede.
And so am I for Rosalind.
And so am I for no woman.
Well, if this be so, why blame you me to love you?
If this be so, why blame you me to love you?
If this be so, why blame you me to love you?
Why do you speak to? Why blame you me to love you?
To her that does not hear, nor doth not hear.
Pray you! No more of this! 'Tis like the howling of Irish wolves against the moon.
And I
will help you if I can.
And I
would love you if I could. Tomorrow, meet me all together.
And
I will marry you if ever I marry a woman, and I'll be married tomorrow.
And I
will satisfy you if ever I satisfy man, and you shall be married tomorrow.
And I
will content you if what pleases you contents you, and you shall be married tomorrow.
And I,
as you love Rosalind, meet.
And I,
as you love Phoebe, meet. And as I love no woman, I'll meet. So fare you well, I have left you commands.
I'll not fail if I live.
Nor I.
Nor I.
Dost thou believe, Orlando, that the boy can do all that he has promised?
I sometimes do believe and sometimes do not. As those that fear they hope, and know they fear.
Patience once more whilst our compact is urged. Good Duke, you say if I bring in your Rosalind, you will bestow her on Orlando here?
That would I had kingdoms to give with her.
And Orlando, you will have her if I bring her?
That would I, were I of all kingdoms king.
Phoebe, you say you will marry me if I will have you?
That will I, should I die the hour after.
But if you do refuse to marry me, you will give yourself to this most faithful shepherd here?
So is the bargain.
Shepherd, you say you will have Phoebe if she be willing?
Oh, to have her and death were both one thing.
I have promised to make all this matter even, and from hence I go to make all these doubts even.
I do remember in this shepherd boy some lively touches of my daughter's favor.
My lord, the first time that I ever saw him, methought he was a brother to your daughter.
Salutation and greeting to you all.
My Duke, bid him welcome. This is the motley-minded gentleman that I have so often met in the forest. He has been a courtier, he swears.
If any man doubt that, let him put me to my purgation. I have trod a measure. I have flattered a lady. I have been politic with my friends, smooth with mine enemy. I have undone 3 tailors. I have had 4 quarrels, and like to have fought one.
Good my Duke, like this fellow.
I like him very well.
Oh, God ild you, sir. I desire you of life. I press in here, sir, amongst the rest of the country copulatives to swear and to forswear, according as marriage binds and blood breaks. Poor virgin, sir, an ill-favored thing, sir, but mine own. A poor humor of mine, sir, to take that no man else will. Rich honesty dwells like a miser, sir, in a poor house as your pearl in your foul oyster.
Touchstone!
By my faith, he's very swift and sententious.
Is not this a rare fellow, my Duke? He's as good at anything, and yet a fool.
He uses his folly like a stalking horse, and under the presentation of that, he shoots his wit.
Rosalind.
Good Duke, receive thy daughter. Hymen from heaven brought her, yea, brought her hither, so that thou mightst join her hand with his, whose heart within his bosom is.
Good Duke, to you I give myself, for I am yours.
There's the truth inside. You are my daughter!
Orlando, to you I give myself, for I am yours.
If there be truth in sight, you are my Rosalind.
If sight and shape be true, why then, my love, adieu?
Good Duke, I'll have no father if you be not he. Orlando, I'll have no husband if you be not he. Nor ne'er wed woman, Phoebe, if you be not she.
Oh, my dear niece, welcome thou art to me. Even daughter welcome, we no less degree.
I will not eat my word, now thou art mine. Thy faith my fancy to thee doth combine.
Play, music, and you bride and bridegrooms all, with measured heaping joy to the measure's fall.
The Duke hath put on a religious life and thrown into neglect the pompous court. To him will I, out of these convertites, there is much matter to be heard and learned. You, good Duke, to your former honor I bequeath. Your patience and your virtue well deserves it. You, Orlando,
Monsieur Melancholy,
to a love that your true faith doth merit. You, Oliver,
Good sir.
to your land and love and great allies. Yeah. You, Silvius.
Sir?
To a long and well-deserved bed. And you, Touchstone.
Oh, Monsieur, what you call it?
To wrangling, for thy loving voyage is but for 2 months victualled. So to your pleasures I am for other than for dancing measures.
Stay, Jaques, stay.
To see no pastimes I, what you would have, I'll stay to know at your abandoned cave.
Proceed, proceed. We will begin these rites, as we do trust they'll end in true delights.
It is not the fashion to see the lady the epilogue, but it is no more handsome than to see the lord the prologue. If it be true that good wine needs no bush, 'tis true that a good play needs no epilogue. Yet to good wine they do use good bushes, and good plays prove the better by the help of good epilogues. I am not furnished like a beggar, therefore to beg will not become of me. My way is to conjure you, and I'll begin with the women. I charge you, O women, for the love you bear to men, to like as much of this play as please you. And I charge you, O men, for the love you bear to women, for as I perceive by your simpering, none of you hates them, that between you and the women this play may please. If I was a woman, I would kiss as many as had beards that pleased me, complexions that liked me, and breaths that I defied not. And I am sure as many as have good beards or good faces or sweet breaths will, for my kind offer, when I do take curtsy, bid me farewell.